Welcome to Tai Chi. Everybody ready? Let's warm up. Hands at your waist, turn your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stretch your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Expand your chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Waist exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Airplane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Touch toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Be careful. Shift your weight to the left foot. Good Tai Chi posture. Kick your right foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kick your butt. 1, 2, 3. Shift your weight. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heisman, opening up your span, parallel feet, choose the right side, cross and sit on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shift weight, cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Short one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Okay, getting into our good golden cockerel, good Tai Chi posture, dropping the shoulders, make sure they're dropped, tucking that butt, hollowing out the chest, chin slightly down, glance ahead, good thoughts going on in your mind, tongue on your palate. Head straight up. Here we go. Shift weight, spiral, counterbalance, root down, shift weight, counterbalance, push down, pull up. Last set, last one. Okay, kicking out, 50-50, gather the energy, shift the weight to the left, right hand on the outside, right kick coming out, follow, shift weight, center, and follow. Counterbalance too. Last set. Warming up with our alignment. T stance, holding your ball. T stance. L stance, move the energy, turn the hips and waist, bottom hand advances, bow stance. Sit back and sit down. Twist step, center with the ball on a T stance. Step out on an L, move the energy, bottom hand advances to go up the horse's mane. Sit back, sit down. Twist step, center with the ball on a T. Step out on an L, move the energy, turn the hips and waist, bow stance. Sit back, sit down, twist step, center with the ball on a T, step out on an L, bottom hand advances to go up the horse's mane. Sit back, sit down. This time we're going to twist step and we're going to brush our knee. Right hand higher, left hand to our shoulder, T stance. 3 things happen, here we go. Ear, hand down, heel out, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, twist step, left hand higher, right hand to the shoulder, T stance. Step out on an L, move that energy, turn the hips and waist to brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, twist step, set it up correctly, all together. Ear, hand down, heel out, turn hips and waist, brush knee. Sit back, sit down, twist step, left hand higher, right hand to your shoulder, T, all together. Ear, hand down, heel out, turn hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, twist step, right hand higher, all together. Ear, hand down, heel out, turn hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, twist step, left hand higher, all together. Ear, hand down, heel down, turn hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, twist step, one more set. Right hand higher, T stance, all together. Ear, hand down, heel out, turn hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, twist step, left hand higher, right hand to your shoulder, T, all together. Ear, hand down, heel out, turn hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, twist step, hold your ball on the T stance, okay? We're gonna ward off this time, okay? Root down on the right to show me that you have energy stored. We're gonna use our forearm of our bottom hand or left hand to forearm our opponent. T stance, L stance, turn the hips and waist, bottom hand advances to forearm our opponent. Turn our hips and waist, reposition our hands as if to pull down the opponent or grasp the bird's tail. Turn at the hips and waist to look back, contact, turn at the hips and waist, center of the body, push the energy through, separate the hands and roll back and sit down. Spiral up and lunge forward. Sit back, sit down. Twist step, holding your ball on a T stance. Step out on an L, move the energy, turn the hips and waist, bottom hand advances to forearm. Turn the hips and waist, reposition hands, grasp the bird's tail. Turn at the hips and waist to look back, contact, turn again, push from the center, separate the energy, roll back and sit down. Spiral up and lunge forward. Sit back, sit down, twist step, T stance, L stance, forearm or ward off. Turn hips and waist, grasp the bird's tail. Contact, turn, push from the center, separate the energy, roll back and sit down, spiral up, lunge forward, sit back, sit down, twist step, T stance, holding your ball, out and to the side, L, bottom hand advances to ward off, turn hips and waist, grasp the bird's tail. Contact, turn again, push from the center, separate, roll back, sit down, spiral up, lunge forward. One more time, get it better. Sit back, sit down, twist step, hold your ball, T stance. Step out on an L, bottom hand advances to ward off your opponent. Push him out, turn hips and waist, grasp the bird's tail or pull down your opponent. Contact, turn, push from the center, separate, roll back and sit down. One more time, you have to push him up and push him out, forcing you to use your core. Sit back, sit down. Twist step, T stance, hold your ball. Step out, L. Bottom hand advances to forearm. Turn the hips and waist. Grasp the bird's tail. Contact, turn, center push. Separate, roll back, sit down. Spiral up, lunge forward. Okay, one last one. No words. Hold your ball. Begin. And with holding a ball. Okay, now let's go over cloud hands, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're going to part the wild horse's mane to the right, okay? Everybody like me? We're gonna part the wild horse's mane. Do you have energy stored on your left or back foot? If so, the the legs should be the knees should be flexed to keep your advancing right foot weightless. And do you have your right hand on the bottom and the right foot ready to go? That's how you know that you're in the correct posture. We're going to part the wild horse's mane. Here we go, T stance, L stance, bottom hand advances, move the energy to go up the horse's mane. To get into cloud hands, you flip the forward hand so you no longer see the palm. You join it with the left or back hand where you can see the palm. You're at 3 o'clock and you're in good Tai Chi posture. Is your spine straight up? Sit back, sit down. Twist step. Move with the twist step. You're at 12 o'clock. The stem of the left hand sort of points to the 12. The right hand dangles by your 2 inches below your navel. You want to get out to the 9 o'clock. What are we going to do? You're going to pivot on your left heel and turn your hips and waist. Here we go. Pivot on your left heel. That's 9 o'clock. What do we do at 9? 2 things. We flip the hands. We close the feet. Do we have a stem and cup at 12? At 3 o'clock, we move our hips and waist to get to 3. 2 things happen. We flip the hands, we open the feet. Shifting the weight to the left, we're at 12 o'clock. Turn our hips and waist to get out to 9. 1 thing happens, just flip the hand. Turn the hips and waist to get to 12. Turn the hips and waist to get to 3, but 2 things happen. Flip the hands, close the feet. Brings you to 12. 9 o'clock, 2 things happen. Flip the hands, open the feet. But we need to get out of cloud hands, so at 3 o'clock we only flip the hands. But at 12 o'clock we shift our weight to the left and we bring right hand up, right foot up, and we're a golden cockerel. And we shift our weight and we're another golden cockerel. Okay? So let's go over cloud hands again. How do we get into cloud hands? We're on a T stance and we're going right to part the wild horse's mane. Right foot's ready to go, so right hand's on the bottom, 2 inches below your navel. Left hand is on the top. We have energy. Where's the energy stored? The left or back foot, therefore I should flex my knee to create a weightless front right foot. We're on a T stance. The pattern says from a T stance you go into an L stance and a bow stance. So T stance, L stance, move the energy, bottom hand advances to go up the horse's mane. Bow stance, flip the forward hand, join it with the back hand. What does the pattern say now? In a bow stance, you have to sit back and you have to sit down on that imaginary stool. Then we got a twist, and that brings us to 12 o'clock. A stem and a dangling right hand. We want to get out to the 9 o'clock, so what do? Pivot on our left heel. There's 9 o'clock. But 2 things happen. Flip the hands, close the feet. 12 o'clock, stem and a cup. Turn with your hips and waist to 3 o'clock. 2 things happen. Flip the hands, open the feet. 12 o'clock, stem and a cup. 9 o'clock, only 1 thing happens, that's flipping the hand. Turn the hips and waist to get to 12. 3 o'clock, 2 things happen. Flip the hands, close the feet. 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 2 things happen. Flip the hands, open the feet. But at 3 o'clock, only 1 thing happens. Because at 12 o'clock, we shift our weight to the left and we come up as a golden cockerel. And down and do the other side. Okay, so what I'm doing is going over all our movements, maybe a little bit down deeper, depending on where you're at in your journey, okay? Then I want to string them along. So we've covered at least half. So now we're going to cover commencing form and repulsing of the monkey, okay? So I'm going to show it to you in this view, and then later I'll turn around and we'll drill it, okay? So, and you can be listening, you can be doing, but just know that you're going to be on the different side as I am. So when we commence, we're in good Tai Chi posture, which is very important because Tai Chi posture has to stay with you for the duration of the set, duration of the form, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, for that entire time. So if you're you're beginning and you're not in Tai Chi posture, I can probably guess that you cannot get yourself into Tai Chi posture, which is then incorrect. All your movements will then be a little short of what Tai Chi is. So while I say the elements, you implement them. So stiffen up like a soldier, and then drop your shoulder. So this is where you're dropping your shoulder. Your butt should have tucked under. If it's not, do it again. Stiffen the shoulder and drop the shoulder, tuck the butt, okay? So when you tuck the butt, the chest hollowed out or dipped in. So that's where we want to be. The head is erect. The chin is not parallel to the ground, but slightly downward. But the glance is ahead, okay? Head is straight up. The knees are not totally bent, but they are relaxed because there's going to be movement. But no movement has yet begun. So therefore the knee cannot dip down. The knee has to be just relaxed. So let's figure this out. We're going to tighten our knees and lock our knee. Lock that knee. We don't want that. So what do? Just relax it a little bit. Relax it a little bit, okay? So this is good Tai Chi posture. Your hands are at your middle finger to the side seam of your pants. When we commence, we're at 50-50, even distributed weight. But in order to move, Tai Chi says, only the weightless foot can move. Therefore, the other foot that's grounded has to collect all the body weight. So if we're at 50-50, we want to move the weight of our left foot onto our right. So it increases by increments, 60, 70, 80, 90, and at 90, we should be at our toe, because 100 will give us the time to then lift off, come down, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 50-50 back again. We rotate slightly to the center of our thigh. We take a deep breath in and we engage our core as if we were pulling up water, drawing up water. At shoulder level, we reverse the process. We push down the water and we ground down by making our feet heavier. So we're engaging the core. Push down the water. Flex the knee because it's more powerful. The left hand stays in the center. Realize that it's my left too. The right hand or backhand rises up higher. We're glancing. We're not looking like this, but we glance at the backhand while it draws closer to your head or ear. You turn your head and neck at the same time. You meet the hands in the middle. One ball is being caught straight on, the other ball is coming from the ceiling. At this point, when I say meet in the center, you push the top hand forward and you pull the bottom hand back as if to repulse the monkey. And you see where I skimmed, I come back to my hip. Okay, if you're high this way, which you shouldn't be, you come down this way, you will feel more grounded. Okay, we have to do the other side. Leave the front hand in the center as you watch the other hand rise up higher, then you open the palm of the forward hand to the ceiling. Follow that back hand to the ear, turn the head and neck, meet in the center as if you're catching two different balls, slide. Center, higher, glance, open, ear, turn, meet, slide. Center, higher, open, glance, ear, turn head and neck, meet in the center, slide. Center, higher, glance, open, ear, turn head and neck, meet, repulsing of the monkey. Center, higher, glance, open, ear, turn, meet, slide. Center, higher, open, glance, watch, meet, repulse of the monkey. Center, higher, open, glance, ear, turn head and neck, meet, slide. Last one, center, higher, glance, open, ear, turn, meet, slide. Okay, can you remember all of that? Let's do a silent one then. You're here, okay? Run through the keywords in your own mind. One more. Then ask yourself, is that right hand skimming the hips and skimming the hip? Well, just below the waist, okay? So it should sit back like this. Okay, you can rest. Put your hands down. So in the real movement of repulsing of the monkey, it's a backwards motion. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Okay, so when we repulse the monkey in the 24, we do it like how I just taught you, but we have to walk backwards. If we did not have the strength or the knowledge of how to walk backwards, it would not be safe. So 3 things happen. We have to do it 4 times. So, I don't know how much you could tie in, but because we're walking backwards in the 24, which is the gold standard, Yang 24, and Yang 10 form, which is what we're learning, came from that original form, we have to use the correct technique. We can't just say, oh, this is an easier, abbreviated thing, and not practice good Tai Chi. So therefore, it's important when you draw back, what am I doing? I'm keeping this as my support here. I'm obeying gravity because only the weightless foot then can come up. And this is giving me some support here because I'm centered. When I finally release and lift, I have to then make sure that I'm stable. But if I have 2 weighted feet, and now this is helping me because the weight is on the back, I drew back to keep this front foot weightless. And then this helps me because it's counterbalancing what I want to do, okay? So later on we can learn that, but that's why I'm stressing good techniques right now. All right, so we did commencing form, repulsing of the monkey, brush knee. This is the order in which the 10 sequences go. Brush knee, part the wild horse's mane, cloud hands, and we already know how to do golden cockerel and kick out. Now we have to do, and we warded off. The only segment that we didn't do is closing form, okay? So when we close, you're gonna watch first because I would be closing this way and you won't know what my hands are doing. Therefore, I will demonstrate so that you could see. So in closing form, we have just grasped the bird's tail by warding off and then grasping the bird's tail, pushing our opponent out. Bow stance. Straight, arrow, bow, arrow, push out. To close, you have to sit back and you have to sit down. Imaginary stool there. Twist, bottom matches the top or top matches the bottom. Out, pivot. In, pivot. Embrace the tiger with the right hand inside the cross. Keep the fingers down, okay? Otherwise you're gonna have problems. This is my weighted foot. I want to close my feet together, okay? So I want to bring my feet together because that's how I started. I embrace the tiger. Make sure that's weighted down to create a weightless foot to bring it here. Turn or rotate on my wrist so that the palms are now facing upwards. I bring the tiger or the energy all the way up to my chest. I bring the tiger closer to me, slightly closer. Each time I'm doing this movement, my wrists are engaged because the core, the energy needs to push, the left wrist has to push out the right. Create that separation of energy. I come down by dropping my shoulders, flexing my knees, let gravity bring me down. I wrap around because that's how I started. I come up with my heel, come off the ground. I bring the toe down, arch down, and the heel down, okay? So that's what we're gonna practice. All right. So to close, we are in a bow stance, right foot forward, left foot 45. And we just, this way. Left foot forward, right foot 45. We just pushed out our opponent. We're gonna close our form. First apparently and then close, okay? We're in a bow stance. We need to sit back and sit down. Twist step on the left heel. Open pivot on the right heel. In pivot of the right heel. Embrace the tiger. How do you embrace? Right hand on the inside of the cross. Keep the fingers slanted and down. Left foot has all your weight. Increase that so that you can bring the right foot over. Rotate on the wrist so now you can see the palms. You're gonna collect the energy or grab the tiger, bring him up. Engage the wrists. At chest level, slightly bring him in. Use the force or energy of the left wrist to push out the right. What happens? Palms are down, they're separated, their energy. Then what? Drop the shoulders, flex the knees, let gravity take you back home. Slightly wrap, heel up, toe off the ground, toe arch heel. Closing form. One more time. Left foot forward, right foot 45, bow stance, push the guy out. Sit back, sit down, twist step. Open twist, in twist, embrace, right hand on the inside, move the foot over, rotate on the wrist, collect the energy, bring it up, bring him up, bring him slightly closer, push him out. Palms are down, drop the shoulders, flex the knees, tuck the elbow, wrap around, heel up, off the ground, toe arch heel. Okay, one more time. Left foot forward. Push the opponent out. Sit back, sit down. Twist step, in step, embrace, move over, rotate. Collect that energy, push him closer to your chest. Push him out. Palms are down, make yourself small. How? Drop your shoulders, tuck your elbow, let gravity take you all back, home. Okay, anything on that, okay? So what we're gonna do now, we've covered all 10 movements, we're gonna string them all together, okay, in a slow way and try to do the best you can, okay? All right, I'll turn this way, good Tai Chi posture, dropping shoulders, tucking your butt. Good thoughts, tongue on your palate. Commencing form, you're at 50-50. Give the right foot 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, open, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Rotate the hands to the middle of the thighs. Take a deep breath in as you elevate both hands. At shoulder level, reverse the process. Drop the shoulders, flex the knees. Make yourself small. Leave the left hand in the center. Right hand rises up higher. Open the front hand to the ceiling. Watch the back hand come to the ear. Turn your head and neck. Meet the hands in the center. Slide as if to repulse the monkey. Leave the right hand in the center. Left hand rises higher, glancing, open to the ceiling. Bring it to the ear. Turn the head and neck. Meet the hands in the center and repulse the monkey by sliding. T-stance. We're going to brush our knee. What do we do to brush our knee? 3 things. Ear, hand down, heel out. Turn the hips and waist. Brush your knee. Sit back. Sit down on that stool. Twist step. Left hand higher. T-stance. All together. Ear, hand down, heel out, turn hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, twist step, T-stance, hold your ball. You're gonna part the wild horse's mane. Step out on an L, move the energy, bottom hand advances to go up the horse's mane. Bow stance. Sit back, sit down, twist step. Center with the ball on a T stance. Step out on an L, bottom hand advances to go up the horse's mane. Getting into cloud hands. Flip the forward hand so you no longer see the palm. Join it with the back hand where you can see the palm at 3 o'clock. Sit back, sit down. Twist step. Right hand dangle 2 inches below the navel. Left hand as a stem and cup. Stem pointing to the 12 o'clock. To get out to the 9 o'clock, we're going to use our left heel, pivot on it. There's 9, 2 things happen. Flip the hands, close the feet. Use your hips and waist to get to 12, stem and dangle. Turn the hips and waist to get out to 3, 2 things happen. Flip the hands, open the feet. Stem at 12, but at 9 o'clock, only flip the hands. 1 thing happens. Use your hips and waist. The hands do not direct the movements. At 3 o'clock, 2 things happen. Flip the hands, close the feet. At 9 o'clock, 2 things happen. Flip and open. At 3 o'clock, only flip. But at 12 o'clock, we shift our weight to the left and come up at 12 as a golden cockerel. Shift the weight to the right. Golden cockerel stands on its right. Shift weight 50-50 to the left. Gather the energy. Right hand on the outside of the cross. Right kick follows. Down. Gather the energy. Shift the weight to the right. Left hand on the outside. Kick out. Left. Holding our ball on a T stance, we're going to ward off our opponent. Step out on an L, bottom hand advances to forearm our opponent. Turn our hips and waist, reposition our hands, bring down the bird's tail. Sit down, sit back, look back, turn at the hips and waist, contact, turn at the hips and waist, center of the body, push the energy through, separate and roll back and sit down, spiral up, lunge forward. Other side, sit back, sit down. Twist step, T stance, holding your ball, Step out on an L, bottom hand advances to forearm our opponent. Turn our hips and waist, reposition our hands as if to grasp the bird's tail. Contact, turn, push from the center, separate and roll back and sit down, up and out, apparently closing. Bow stance, sit back, sit down, twist, pivot, pivot in, embrace the tiger, right hand on the inside of the cross, shift the weight to the left so that the right foot can close, rotate on the wrists so that you can see your palm, collect that energy or bring the tiger up, chest level, pull him slightly in, use the force of the left to push out the right. Palms are now facing downwards. To close, you drop your shoulders, you flex your knees, you tuck your elbows in, let gravity bring you back home as you are on now your toe off the ground, toe down, heel down. Okay, so that wasn't bad, right? And this is our 8th lesson. But there's still lots to learn, but at least we can string them all together and get some semblance of a beginning, middle, and end, okay? And I know that if I were you, I would be a little anxious about the areas that are not smooth, and that's natural. So don't let it stay that way. Kind of give it some practice. Watch what the things that you have to do, and take the 10 movements apart and figure out, well, which one needs more attention or more practice, and start with that. Okay.
Again, I see great effort. Everybody is trying to find their Tai Chi, which is great. We're not all going to be champions, but that's okay. That's not the aim. There are several things that I want people to think about. One of them is stance. Most of you have it pretty good in terms of stance, but make sure that your knees are slightly bent. And practice, just bend, stand up. Bend and stand up. Bend and stand up. This time, stand up, feel how you feel in general, and then bend. Where does the focus, and come back up, where does the focus of your attention comes when you bend your knees? Hopefully what happens is feet and knees. So you become aware that this, how you stand has something to do with how much mental contact you have with the ground. That's the most important ingredient. You're going to try to use gravity to your advantage. One of the things that happens if you drop down, you took gravity, you're stable. You're not going to be as unstable as up high, okay? Second thing, as you get down, what happens to your knees? They're more mobile, probably. You can do one of these, whereas when you're up here and you're locked, you're not going to get there. Versus you can make adjustments if here, and you just, oop, I might fall here, or oop, I might fall here, okay? Or you maybe go up one, go down one, but you have afforded the opportunity. Once you're locked up here, you say, I'm out of balance, what am I going to do? The only option you have is boom. Because if you go this way, you're going to go right over. But your knees may help you, and the rest of your joints. I don't want you just to concentrate on your knees, but it just happens that that's the joint that we're thinking about. But the other joints help you. The movement of all the joints adjusting. That's what you're trying to learn in Tai Chi, how your joints adjust to where you're at. Second thing is, how do you use your arms and legs? Okay, and I like to kid that when you do Tai Chi, no part of the body is unemployed. Everything has its job. Most of it is moving. Some of it is staying semi-still, but still there is that feeling that at any moment, I got to be able to do two things. It's not any moment, yeah? And a lot of these movements are meant to try to help you, give you cues on, one, where to go, and two, trying to say, where is my balance? How do I maintain my balance? You do brush knee, for instance. Okay, we come back this way. What's happening? Arms are out here, leg is over here. But the two guys help each other because where should be the emphasis? Straight down. Yeah? For instance, you're here. Okay? This is sort of almost neutral because it's right by the center. Your dantian is right here. And this is out here, and this is out here. And then when I am going to go in this direction, I push this out, this goes out, and this comes. But of course, I'm helping myself with another thing, rotation. And you're moving. So, one, arms will help you and legs will help you. Even here, you say, I've got a kick. Where's the emphasis? Okay? You have to consider shift center. But what do you have to do? You have to go up, right? So you could say, well, here, and then I'll do this. But if you do up, this is trying to, as you come here, center, elevate. So it's giving the arms now, they say, okay, we're coming, we're going to be stable, but now we want the leg to come up. But to help the leg, or to make sure everybody moves together, the hands come up. See, come up, and they bring. Otherwise, what happens, and I see it today a little bit, people do what they're supposed to do, and they come out, and then the leg comes out, or they're up here, and then the leg comes out, and then they go out. Okay? So what happens is that all the energy is expended, but not in a coordinated manner. You come up, center, elevate, come out. Everything's coming out. Even these guys are helping you to balance, like somebody walking a tightrope. You're unstable up at the highest part. Right? It's like on a tightrope. You could stay here and walk on a tightrope, but how many guys do that? You watch the guys that walk on a tightrope, they even have a long pole to help them stay balanced. They got the pole is to give them any signal that they're going to go off base or not. So don't be unemployed. Don't let anybody be unemployed. Up, out, come down. Even this, you're settling down. It's like a bird flying, right? The ornithologist will tell you that. It's like the bird's flying. You never see a bird come diving in except if they go, and even if they do, they're going for fish, right? They're all coming down like this to make sure they don't fall down. So what I'm trying to get is think how your arms and legs help you to stay centered and also help you to direct your body to go in certain motions. Or another one is people sort of forget repulsing the monkey. Even if you're stationary, as soon as I come out, I don't leave this here. I'm ready to go. I'm keeping everybody employed. It just happens that when you're doing the repulse the monkey, you open. Otherwise, one is this way, one is this way. I guess you could, but to me, I've learned that this gives me a more, I'm right down here. And the next maneuver is close up shop, bring it back out. For instance, here, balance, arms, legs. When I come in, this is another way of saying, okay, bringing everybody to the center, very stable. Yeah? And if you sit down correctly, You can stay here, and you almost, then you just shift. See, you get what I'm trying to say in terms of use your arms and legs.
So always remember that in Tai Chi, you're learning about your body. You already know that. You yourself are learning about your own body, which is ideal. But also, Tai Chi is teaching us to use our body in the most efficient way. So when Ken talks about how maybe you do things right and you kick out right, but are you using your entire body to help you with your motion? Or are you just doing piecemeal stuff like, okay, I know it's right hand on the outside, then I know the right foot can come up, then I know I can kick out, but I'm supposed to follow, so here's my kick, and then I follow. You want to do everything in a whole way. You want to do it without segments. So in Tai Chi, it's ideal because we're constantly moving. Although it may not appear to the viewer that you are moving, we have small muscles that we are extending or ligaments that are stretching. We as a person doing Tai Chi can feel all those little itty bitty things. Another reason why Tai Chi is very powerful is that we never have our knees locked or semi-locked. If you think about it, we're always in a semi-squat position. To be semi-squatted requires more strength, gives us more power. We feel stronger in our legs and our feet. So can you see that all of this can apply to us being a little bit more strong, health-wise and physically strong? All right, so I don't really have to sell Tai Chi, but I do want to make sure that what we are teaching you has meaning and can connect with you and the wholeness of how you can use your body efficiently. That's the name of the game. I could give you many more examples, but I think that you are aware. Is there any movement that you want me to help you with? Really confusing and you want some kind of a clarification. Can I open it up to you, and does anybody want to share or suggest? Yeah, Gladys.
Is it possible to get a handout as far as the steps for the...
Yes. I will not print it out, but it is online. So Gladys is asking, is there a list of movements for the 10 form? And there are many lists, but on my website, if you go to one of the menus, Tai Chi maybe, and it drops down, you can select 10 form, 24, 88, whatever, 16, and it'll give you the list of the sequence. How many have already seen it? Nobody? Yeah, you've seen it, good, Richard. So, I would say, yeah, I would say, I built my website for my students, and I would love if you could be very familiar with, you know, finding those kinds of answers on my website. And I realize that not everybody is online, which is fine, you know. And to me, those of you who don't have online access probably are doing a lot more innovative things to get your Tai Chi going, which is great, okay? You have to be more creative. So those of us who are online, are we using it as efficiently, or, you know, you could probably get more stuff out there. So hey, let's do that as a task. What's the first movement? Just say it out loud. I'm kind of hard of hearing. Commencing form, 1. After you commence, what do? Repulse the monkey. 3, after you repulse the monkey, you what? Brush your knee. 4, after you brush your knee, you come back and you what? Part the wild horse's mane. 5, after you get into this position, flip the hand. What is this? Huh? Cloud hands at 6. After cloud hands at 12 o'clock, you turn yourself into a what? Golden cockerel. 7. After golden cockerel, kick out, right? And after you kick out, you have to what? Ward off or grasp the bird's tail. 7 or 8 right there. After the last one, remember I face this way? This one's called apparently closing, because you're not really closing, but you're getting there. The 9th one is embrace the tiger or cross hands. Move that foot over, bring him up. That's what is rotating. Push him in, push him out, and then once you drop the shoulders and flex the knees. How do I do that? I'm thinking to myself, how can I make myself small? Drop the shoulders, tuck the elbow, flex the knees, disappear. That's closing form along with this guy, okay? So that's closing form, that's 10. So there's your task. You don't have a list, but you have that mental image, and you can practice, and you just jot it down, right? Show it to me, and I'll say yes, right? So there's also remember that Tai Chi is very powerful in that it not only keeps us healthy and strong physically, but it keeps our mind going. So, you know, take advantage of the time that you do spend here. Remembering sequence, you know, how the movement starts and finishes, what the images are, anything else. So just out of curiosity, Richard, you're not going to Italy. There's a lockdown, yeah. So, you know, it seems like I'm online to edit and do my Tai Chi videos, but I'm also constantly, just like you, aware of what's going on. My prediction is that things are going to get worse. We have to practice social distancing, and because there's not too much known, we still have to be extra careful. I think that Ron might know a little bit more, but I think maybe eventually the private schools and public schools are probably going to lock down, and I think ideally they probably will not. This is me now, this is my opinion, my prediction that after spring break, they probably will not have their children back in school. And children can weather this virus really well, but it's us, our age bracket people that are going to have a hard time dealing with it. So take it from there. I hope that we're on our 8th lesson. We have 7 more to go. We can finish this out. So, any other thoughts on it? No?
Yourself in shape.
Yeah, and you know, people in Hong Kong, they have few cases, and they're near China. They have people going in and out, but they've been able to keep their numbers down. I'm not saying I know why, but you know, I don't know if you were in my class when we had a master come in from Hong Kong, and she's not only teaching her regular classes, but she's getting them prepared to be stronger. And Ken, watch Ken how he does a stack for them. Just do it, yeah. He holds his position there so he's not only gaining strength, which is great, but he's also meditating. Meditating is a good medicine, right? So anything that you know about Tai Chi or exercising or keeping, you know, your health up is good to start all the time, or always do it, especially now, okay? And I'm glad that we're able to do Tai Chi together. So good job. Yay, see you next time.